Hey guys, so I got a bunch of questions after you guys seeing some of my pictures on my Instagram about using two curling wands and why. So I'm gonna show you just a couple of steps, but I'll make this video fairly short. And I'll open that as a backdrop. Okay, so number one, I'm gonna use two different curling irons. These are on sale right now. I have the wands that are, they're from, I know this is backwards, but they're from this company. You can Google it, but I saw them come across Instagram. I love that they were pink, but they were for a really good price. And the ends, it's not the full wand, so that you can touch this end without having to use a glove, because I hate using a glove. I was a hairdresser. I mean, I've been a hairdresser for 14 years. It's not my full-time job anymore. I retired a couple years ago. Thank you from Misfit to Misfit, but this is how I would style someone's hair and how I style my own. It's kind of like a beachy wave, but you can make it more like a softer done up beachy wave. So these are on sale. Just to let you know that right now at the time of this video. And I don't work with any of these companies. I used to work with Bumble and Bumble, and I'm primarily using Spray to Mode by Bumble and Bumble. Second product will be Thickening Dry Spun Finish. Just to show you, I have sectioned off. I'll just do this in 3 sections today. My hair was washed yesterday. So I'm going from temples down. Then I'll show you the next section. I'm only gonna do 1 section at a time, just for time's sake. But the first thing I'll do from the temples down, if you have like longer hair, if you were to have more like a lob or a bob, yeah, no worries, Kylie, you're very welcome. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, guys, if you guys are in the States. If you have like a long bob, you might want to use all one size curling iron, but I'm going to use 2. For the temples down, I'm only going to use my bigger one because I want the length. I want to keep as much length as possible. So I'll keep that. And then as I work my way up, you'll notice I start alternating between curls opposed to just doing all one size curling iron. And that gives it a really cool textured look, but it also gives you some volume as well. So first I will take, and I want to show you guys how to work side to side as well, because that's like super important. So I'm going to spray. I like to rake through with my fingers. I don't really use a comb. If it was one of my clients, I would probably use a comb, but notice how I'm cut this. So if this were my right hand, this is my left side. You come down and then you wrap around. So if you feel like say you lose your spot or it moves up the curling iron where it's not hot, I'm going to show you what you would do. This is a Marcel Technique. You start to wrap, right? And then you're going to use that top hand that's holding the curling iron. I just like wrapped curling iron. I don't know why I did that. You start to roll back. And then I'm going to come in and you're going to tap the ends. You're not going to wrap the ends all the way around. Cool? And I want like a looser wave, and I want the ends to kind of be not straight, but not like super like Shirley Temple style curl. Just for time's sake, because I do want to show you guys how I alternate. The other side, you're now going to switch hands. So I have my section, say I already sprayed it. I don't spray it twice, I just spray it once beforehand. See how I'm using now my left hand on my right side, coming up and down, or up, around and down. Curling back, keeping tension. Every time I do these videos, I'm always like, oh my God, what if I burn my face? What if I burn my fingers? I've done it. It just hurts for a second, right? All right. So see how I'm tapping the ends in? And I'm gonna let that come down. Now, once my hair cools, you can see, so you wanna go backwards each side. I'm splitting my hair down the center, and I'm just gonna keep working. And again, for time's sake, like I would do another section. I would actually break this into, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. You would go this way, and on this side, same thing, 4 sections, go this way, same thing. Then if I were to, I have to get into like a quasi horse stance here. Once I start my next section to section off is going to be the top of the head. So I want the most volume at the top of my head, not on the sides, because then it ends up being like dog ear, which you don't want. So you kind of make this like mohawk section. I like to make sound effects. If you've ever taken one of my fitness or yoga classes, I make a lot of weird sound effects. You're gonna wrap that. I think I'm gonna start doing more live videos here on YouTube. Okay. Then I would use still my big curling iron here, front, like that, let it come down. But then my next section would be here, right behind it, and I would do the smaller curling iron. And I would come underneath to get a little bit of lift, because now I'm kind of at the crown of the head. So now I'm coming underneath, I'm not going straight down. And then I'm gonna like twist, tap the ends in. See how that's much tighter of a curl? Then guess what? I'm gonna go to the larger curling iron. Same thing on this side. I'll start here, and you're just gonna alternate. I'll wrap around, then I'll do the next section, smaller curling iron. But you gotta switch hands, cool? See how that gives a lot more texture? Like around my face, I want it softer and I want the length. I also am growing out my bangs, so you don't want it to be like super tight curls around your face unless you're gonna do your whole head with super tight curls. I would still advise using 2 different curling irons, probably something smaller than this. Oh, how many? Because I know you guys are gonna ask. I think this is 1.5 or 1 1/4. And then this is 1 inch. So I have longer hair, so I would need those. If you have shorter hair, I would do 1 inch and then anything less to alternate. And also depends on if you have like really thick, heavy hair, like my hair is pretty fine, and I'll just show you guys. My hair also accepts curl really well. You might want, if you have thicker, heavy hair and it's harder to curl, you want to take smaller sections and make sure, again, you have to spray before each section. So one, that's protecting hair. Everyone always uses like heat protectant. I think that's like a bullshit crap. Like product. I would just use hairspray because you need some sort of structure in there to hold this. So the idea, just to let you guys know, you need some sort of structure in your product and hold. However, spray to mold also has shine and silicone, so it does help with humidity. But when you go, so that's one, protecting the hair. You're breaking a heat bond here. It's not a hydrogen bond. That's when you wet the hair, right? And then dry the hair. But now the hair's already dry. You're using heat to break that bond to mold it into something. So you have to make sure it's also hot enough, especially if your hair's like coarser and thicker. Again, I don't have a lot of hair. It just looks like I do because of the products I use, which is mainly, honestly, it's Bumble and Bumble thickening line. Again, I don't work for them. All right, so I would alternate all the way around. Then you're gonna go this way, right? So you're switching hands, curling iron, switching hands. Then the top section's the last one. Now, I'm parting my hair down the center now. If you part to the side, you just would part it to the side, right? But because I've been wearing my hair down the center and I'm growing out my bangs, okay. The front section, same thing, bigger curling iron. And quite honestly, because I want a lot of volume and texture, so I'm gonna use bigger, and I don't want like a curl right there, because a curl right there is gonna look weird around my face. Maybe it wouldn't, I don't know. But I'm going to smooth this section out, curl down here. See how it just sweeps? And honestly, I love the way that looks. Like I just want it to kind of like push back into my hair. But if that doesn't work, here's a trick. Push back, get like a really small section, especially if you have shorter pieces or you're growing out bangs like I am, and marry it to the section that you already curled underneath it. So you're just marrying it in, and as that happens, that will drape down. If you don't want it to sweep back, yeah, cool, right? And then I would do the same thing other side, right? I won't do it for time's sake, but the whole top section, yeah, Yeah, whole top section. So then I would take another small section here and I would use smaller curling iron, and I'm going to come underneath it so that I can get volume. So before most people will come here, I want you to see what I'm doing. I'm going to lift up the section and come straight to you. So now it's like parallel, opposed to on an angle or vertical. Let that come down. And I really like the way that looks. I would do that for the rest of the hair until I get to the back. So I would do like one big curling iron is the fringe area. Then 1, 2, 3. Then this section back here, I'm going to direct it backwards because I don't want like sections at the back of my head. I'm going to come underneath it, maximum volume. See how I'm rolling down? It's a process. Tricks from hairdressers though. And then see how that immediately stands up? I didn't even spray it yet, right? Because you're taking the section, if you were to think about a ruler or something, or I'll use a comb, because that's what we would use in hairdressing school, and it were to come straight out of the head, right? That's the section you're looking at. So the way gravity is going to hold this hair is by pushing it down. So if you're like dragging it down, you're not going to get volume. Now, if you don't want volume, then you wouldn't go backwards. You would just kind of like pull down. I try to go up as high as possible because I want maximum volume. Once my whole head is done, I go through with a wide tooth comb and I would just rake through. And my hair gets like really knotted and stringy on the ends. So I even go through with a Mason Pearson brush. I've had this brush since I was 18. I'm 32 now. They're handmade in London. It's a wonderful company, well worth the money. So I would, if you feel like, I take each section or I just brush it all out. And then see how it kind of looks like it disappears, but hold on. Use your fingers. And again, never just go like that to soften the curl. Cool? All right. Any questions? Let me know. I don't know how to turn this off actually. So give me a second. All right.